All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 294th District Court. My name is Chris Martin. I'm going to call this morning's criminal docket. When you hear your name, please say present or here. For the record, cause number CR 22-205, Caitlin David Cheatham, scheduled for sanctions court. If he's having car issues, he's been ordered to report at 1:30. Cody Allen Gray. Gotcha, Mr. Gray. Brian Hart. Present. Kyle Holland. Eddie Pate. Lena Price. Ms. Price was reset to June 2nd for sanctions court. She has medical issues. June 2nd for sanctions. Brandy Ross.
Your Honor. Your Honor. Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, what?
June 10th.
Says June 2nd.
Hang on, my mistake.
What? You made a mistake? Write that down, Fabio. That was the first one this week. June 10th?
Yes, sir.
I'll change it. I'm just going to write June 10th next to it so you don't think I'm lying to you there.
Okay.
All right. Brandy Ross is here. Jacob Stanford. Marquis Thompson. Marquis Antoine Thompson. James Godwin. Devin Bailey. Durante Calhoun.
He was on his way to court on a road, so trying to get certification of that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Manning. I'll recall the case. Rachel Powell. Cami Sykes. Colby Wilcox, CR 25-57. He's been verified in custody in Henderson County. I'll recall that. We'll reschedule it. Norma Mendez. Douglas Bennett has hired Mr. Nolan White. Mr. White's filed a waiver of arraignment. Court approved that. Pretrial is now set July 1st. Anthony Fernandez. Yeah, I heard him. Yeah. Maria Flores. All right, is there anyone else whose name's not been called and you expect to be on the docket? No? Council, we have anyone ready? I think Mr. Dooley's waiting on paperwork. I'm ready. All right, Mr. White. Who are you ready on first? Mr. Fernandez. I guess we have to wait for the interpreter on Ms. Flores, correct? Oh, I'm sorry. You only have Mr. Fernandez, correct?
Sure.
Anthony Fernandez. Tried to give you another one this morning. Come on up, sir. I'll just hand them out off the docket. I don't remember that one. I'm getting a little older. All right, this is cause number CR 25-73, State of Texas versus Anthony Paul Fernandez. We're set for pretrial. Go ahead, Mr. White.
Your Honor, we do not have any contested pretrial. We'll abide by the court's pretrial order. Ask the court to take this over to docket call.
30 days be enough, Mr. White?
Yes, sir.
It's a little less than 30. What about June 12th?
That should be okay, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Then the court sets Mr. Fernandez then for docket call June 12th at 9 a.m. Mr. Fernandez, once you sign your notice and get the yellow copy, you're free to go.
If I could, Your Honor, schedule real quickly.
Sure, absolutely.
Yes, sir. That's a good.
That's fine. All right. So June 12th it is. Thank you, Mr. White.
Thanks, sir.
Anyone else ready? Mr. Schmidt, you ready? Mr. Manning? Ready on Norma Mendez?
Yeah.
Norma, Linda Mendez, you'll come forward up here with Mr. Schmidt. This is cause number CR 25-52. We are set for pretrial. Go ahead, Mr.
Judge, we don't have any contested pretrial motions. We don't adopt call center.
It's a little shy of 30 days. Is that gonna be okay if we do June 10th, Tuesday,
No, sir, I'm out June.
June
Yeah, I think you have that first week of July,
July 1st?
July first system.
All right, court sets Ms. Mendez for docket call July 1st at 9 a.m. Once she signs, get your notice, she's free to go.
This is telling me what date you're coming back to court, July first.
Okay.
Jermaine,
Yes, Judge.
who would you like first?
Judge, if we can call Miss Cammy Sykes.
Ms. Sykes, you'll come forward, please. This is cause number CR 25-56, State of Texas versus Kami Louise Sykes for pretrial. Go ahead, Ms. Clay.
Judge, Ms. Sykes and I have not had an opportunity to go over the discovery in her case, but we do have a meeting for June 2nd to go over that, as well as the offer that's been made by the state. I'd ask for additional pretrial in this case.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Harwell. Thursday, June 12th.
Yes, Judge.
All right, court sets Ms. Sykes for additional pretrial June 12th at 9 a.m. And once she signs and gets her notice, she's free to go.
I'll see you all on the second.
Who's next?
Judge, next, ready on Mr. Bailey.
Devin Bailey, you'll come forward, sir. This is cause number CR 25-29, State of Texas versus Devin Lee Bailey. We're set for pretrial.
Judge, at this point in time, my client has not been able to come into my office to go over the discovery. I would request one additional pretrial for us to go over that and prepare for this case.
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hartwell. Court sets Mr. Bailey for additional pretrial June 12th at 9 a.m. Once he signs and gets his notice, free to go.
Next, Judge, I have Mr. Calhoun. As I said, Judge, he contacted my office this morning. He is coming from the Oklahoma border. And the ride that he was with broke down. I've asked for a statement from that driver, letting me know the nature of the situation. If you would like, my client said he would be able to appear via Zoom, if we would like to do that. I've also filed a motion to transfer this case from upstairs to downstairs. I filed that this morning. The state's in agreement on that as well.
What kind of charges does he have pending downstairs?
Judge, I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's some misdemeanor stuff.
Why would we transfer it up to down if the indictment landed in this court?
You mean transfer from upstairs to downstairs?
Yeah, that's what you said. You filed a motion to go from down.
Yes. Judge, just resolve the case.
All right, well, just keep me apprised of whatever information you get on Mr. Calhoun. I'm not sure if I'll allow him to appear via Zoom, but let's find out if he's.
Yes, Judge.
Let's just get a status of what's going on, and then we'll regroup and talk about it.
And would you like to take up Mr. Wilcox?
Yes, cause number CR 25-57, State of Texas versus Colby Darnell Wilcox. He is set for arraignment today on unlawful possession of firearm by a felon. He is confirmed in custody in Henderson County. Is he in Henderson County on their charges, or is he being housed in Henderson?
I believe he's on their
Their
charges.
charges. Okay, Court will reset Mr. Wilcox for a status and for arraignment on June 12th.
And Judge, do we want to have him set at 1:30? Or do you still want him on the 9 o'clock docket?
Do we know what kind of charges he has over there? Is he sitting out Class Cs or something doing it? We'll just leave him at 9 o'clock. That way, if he makes bail over there, he's on a personal bond here. So
Yes,
I'm
Judge.
not sure what kind of charges he has over there. No, I said we'll leave him at 9 o'clock. And then if he's still in custody, then yeah, we'll zoom him at 1:30.
Judge, with the exception of Mr. Calhoun, I believe that the business is fine.
Okay, and if you want to go back to your office and then call the court whenever you find out, just let me know. And then you have cases this afternoon.
I do. I have a plea this afternoon.
Okay,
And Judge, I just checked. I do not see a response from Mr. Calhoun, so I'll reach out to him via phone.
I think Ms. Taberham wanted to talk to you real quick before you leave.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Gray, come on up. Gray, why are you wearing shorts? Or
The pants wasn't dry.
pants weren't dry?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it.
Next time wear wet pants.
Yes,
This is court. It's not Walmart.
yes, sir.
This is cause number CR 19-175, State of Texas versus Cody Allen Gray. Mr. Gray, if you'll raise your right hand. Sir, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Gray, you're currently on probation in this court, correct?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking the court to extend your probation today?
Yes, just for a few months so I can knock out the rest of my community service.
Is that all that you have remaining?
I have a payment that's due down there and a payment over here, which I'm both making this morning.
All right, if the court extends you for an additional 3 months, do you believe that you will be able to satisfy all the
It'll be done
conditions?
before 3 months. You just prefer for it to be 3 months.
And Mr. Gray, has anybody threatened, forced, or pressured you to extend your probationary
Yes, sir.
period? All right, the court's going to approve the extension of Mr. Gray's community supervision for 3 months. Your new expiration date is August 25th, 2025. Court is ordering Mr. Gray to pay probation fees and your analysis fees during the extension period. All right, Mr. Gray, have you step over to see the probation officers and I'll get you back. Ms. Powell? Go that way, Ms. Powell. This is cause number CR 20-224, State of Texas versus Rachel Leanne Powell. All right, Ms. Powell, if you'll raise your right hand, ma'am, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand. All right, Ms. Powell, you're also on probation in this court, correct?
Yes, sir.
You're asking the court to extend your probationary period for an additional 3 months, is that right?
Yes.
Why do you need an extension?
Just until I get the money that I owe y'all paid off.
If I extend your probation, do you believe that you'll be able to satisfy those conditions?
Yes.
Has anyone threatened, forced, or pressured you to extend your conditions of probationary period?
No.
All right, the court does grant the amendment to the conditions of probation, extends her supervision period for an additional, actually it's not 3 months, it's 3 years. So let me back up. I about to say 3 months. It's actually 3 years. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that during the 3 years, you're gonna have to pay probation fees, you're gonna have to pay your analysis,
Yes.
understand all those things.
Yes, sir.
All right, and this is the agreement that you want, the court to approve?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Powell, the court, will amend your conditions, of community supervision, extends the period of probation for an additional 3 years. You were set to expire on May 25th of this year, here in about a week or 10 days. Your new expiration period will be May 24th, 2028. All right. All right, come over here and see the probation officers and get your paperwork. Brian Hart. Right there's fine. This is cause number CR 25-78, State of Texas versus Brian Lee Hart. Mr. Hart, sir, if you'll raise your right hand. Sir, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand. All right, Mr. Hart, you are charged by indictment with a second-degree felony offense of criminal mischief greater than $150,000, less than $300,000. That does carry a range of punishment of not less than 2 years in prison, up to a maximum 20 years in prison, should you be convicted and sentenced. You could also receive a fine up to $10,000. We're set for arraignment today. It's my understanding that you are attempting to hire an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hart, if I give you an additional 30 days or so, do you believe that would give you enough time to hire an attorney?
Yes, sir.
And it's my understanding that you've been speaking with Mr. Manning. Is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
All right, then, Mr. Hart, I'm going to grant your request and the court will reset you for an additional date for arraignment. I'm going to set you on June 12th. If you do not hire Mr. Manning, then I expect you to hire another attorney and have him here on June 12th.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a notice of setting for you to fill out that's got that date.
All right.
Once you get that from Deputy Martinez, you'll sign it. We'll give you a copy and you're free to go.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Eddie Pate. Mr. Pate, did you request court-appointed attorney?
I did.
You did? Are they? Because on my paperwork here, it says that you're to hire an attorney, but you filled out paperwork this
did.
morning? All right,
Well-
have a seat. I'm gonna need to see that paperwork, so I'll call you.
I hadn't filled the paperwork out this time. I filled it out last time, but I was told that I needed to sell my assets.
Okay, all right. This is cause number CR 25-83, State of Texas versus Eddie Ensar Pate. We are set for arraignment and status on hiring attorney. Okay, so Mr. Pate, Ms. Tabraham has provided me your paperwork. It appears that you do not meet the financial qualifications to be considered indigent for purposes of counsel being appointed. So what I can do is I can reset you to June 12th and give you time to hire an attorney.
I'm still working on it, but the assets that are on the TransUnion, I don't own those. I haven't owned those in years. I sold them long ago, so I don't.
Did you amend your paperwork and list all that?
It wasn't listed in the first time.
Well, did she ask you to address it, whether or not you own these things? Yeah, Mr. Pate, if you own a $20,000 vehicle in a house, that's gonna disqualify you as being indigent.
I don't own the vehicle. I'm still making payments on it.
Understand? But if you can afford a $20,000 car, you can afford a mortgage on a house, that's gonna mean that you're not indigent.
Okay.
Based on your expenses, right? So I'm gonna reset you to June 12th. And what I would recommend is you start calling attorneys and figuring out what their costs are, who will work with you, payment plans, so on and so forth.
Yes, sir.
And liquidating any assets you do have. We're trying to get loans against those assets.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're gonna have you sign this notice of setting to June 12th. Once you sign that and get that, you're free to go. Good morning. Let's see if we can fix that for you.
Sí, sí, la estoy escuchando.
All right, excellent. Before we begin, Spiel, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand, state your name and your license number so I can place you under oath. Ms. Bill, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will make a true translation of the statements of the court, the questions of counsel, and the testimony to be given in the matter now on trial to the best of your skill and judgment, so help you God? All right, thank you. All right, this is cause number CR 24-00305. State of Texas versus Maria de Perez Flores. Ms. Flores is appearing in court today, and she is receiving the assistance of a licensed court interpreter, Ms. Bill, and she's also appearing by counsel. She is represented in this case by Ms. Jazz Turner, but Mr. Dooley is appearing today on behalf of Ms. Turner. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. Same offer.
Ms. Flores, do you have any questions before we begin the court proceeding today?
No.
All right, Ms. Flores, if you'll raise your right hand, I'm going to place you under oath. Ma'am, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Así es, correcto.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. Ms. Flores, are you a United States citizen?
Soy residente.
Do you understand that taking a plea in a criminal case today in this court could have adverse effects on your status within this country?
Sí.
Have you spoken to your attorneys, Mr. Dooley or Ms. Turner, or anyone else regarding those potential consequences?
Sí, ya he hablado con ella.
And you wish to go forward with your plea agreement that you've reached with the state on this case?
Así es.
In this case, you have been represented by Ms. Turner, and today, Mr. Dooley, are you pleased with the legal representation that they have given you?
Sí,
Do you understand the paperwork that you have read over and signed with your attorney's assistance?
así es.
Is there anything in the paperwork that you do not understand or have questions about?
No.
Okay. Mr. Dooley, do you believe today that Ms. Flores is competent to enter into this agreement?
I do, Judge.
And you also agree with your client that she's been counseled on potential consequences regarding her legal status in this country as a legal resident?
I confirmed with Ms. Turner that they did discuss the legal consequences on my client's status in this country by phone this morning. Yes, Judge.
Okay. And Mr. Dooley, was it you or Ms. Turner that went over the plea paperwork with Ms. Flores when she signed?
It was Ms. Turner, Judge, and I again verified with Ms. Turner this morning that she went through all the terms of the plea agreement and that Ms. Flores understood the terms of the plea agreement as explained to her.
Thank you, Mr. Dooley. All right, Ms. Flores, it appears that you have been charged by indictment with a third-degree felony offense of injury to a child, elderly, or disabled individual. A third-degree felony does carry a range of punishment that is not less than 2 years in prison, up to a maximum 10 years in prison, and a possible fine not to exceed $10,000 should you be convicted and sentenced on that crime. I see that there's a plea agreement in your case wherein upon you pleading guilty to the crime, the state is recommending that the court consider the evidence but not convict you today, and for the court to place you on deferred community supervision for a period of 3 years, along with a $500 fine and a parenting class as a condition of your probation or community supervision. As part of the plea agreement, you would also be responsible for paying court costs of $290 and reimbursement fees of $35. Miss
Sí,
Flores, is your last name Flores or Perez?
Flores.
Flores, okay. So, Ms. Flores, you understand that if the court approves this agreement today, if the court places you on community supervision, if you violate any of the terms of your agreement, the prosecutors, the state of Texas, could file a motion to adjudicate your guilt. That means a motion to convict you. They could ask the court to set a hearing. They could ask the court to hear evidence. And if they prove to the court that you violated any condition of your agreement, the court could convict you of that offense. The court could revoke your community supervision, and the court could impose sentence on you up to the maximum 10 years in prison for this charge. And also all the way down to a minimum of 2 years. You understand that?
Sí, estoy de acuerdo con las reglas que me pusieron.
Okay. All right, then understanding the agreement, understanding the potential consequences. Ms. Flores, how do you plead to injury to a child, a third-degree felony?
Yo me declaro culpable.
Ms. Flores, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or pressured you to plead guilty?
No, nadie.
All right. Then, Ms. Flores, the court will accept your plea of guilt at this time. Mr. Dooley, any objection to the court admitting the stipulation of evidence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that is admitted, and the court will take judicial notice of the defendant's judicial confession. Is there anything further from the state?
Your Honor, only that there is a victim impact statement on file. I expect that's been emailed to the court. If not, I can print it off and deliver it to the court now.
Sure, I'd have to check my email and see. I don't believe I have that, Mr. Hartwitz.
Okay, I'll print one off for Your Honor now.
Anything further from the defense, Mr. Dooley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, the court's going to consider the evidence. Ms. Bill, can I throw you a curveball? I have a victim impact statement that's only two sentences, maybe three sentences long. If I display this to the camera, is there any way that you think you could read that to me? I have other Spanish speakers in the courtroom, but one of them is busy typing, so she can't do it, and the other one's busy bailiffing. But if you can't see it, I can have Mr. Hartwell possibly display it. Can you do a share screen?
I could, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, let's do that. That'll be easier for Holly. Give me just a second. We'll go ahead and pull that up. Mr. Hartwell, I will give you permission to share. Should be available. It's very short. Probably easier to read if he puts it on the screen than if I do this. And so those two sentences you see there, Miss Beal, if you could just, where it says, Haley, if you could, I don't need the, I don't think, well, yeah, if you can read the question and then the answer for me for just those two entries. Can you make that bigger, Mr. Hartwell, just a touch? Is that better, Holly? I'm sorry, Holly. I just see that it's translated in English right below that, so I'm sorry. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Bill. Mr. Hartwell, also included in the victim impact statement, I think there appeared to be a claim of loss, financial loss of $10,000. Was that addressed by the prosecution at all?
Your Honor, it's all the same family, so it would essentially be paying restitution to themselves. So in that matter, Your Honor, we weren't seeking it as part of the judgment.
Thank you. All right, then the court having considered the evidence, the court also having considered the victim impact statement, the court will follow the plea agreement today. The court hereby finds that there is enough evidence to convict the defendant of the offense. The court will follow the plea agreement today. The court defers a finding of guilt. Court places Ms. Maria de Jesus Flores Perez on 3 years community supervision for the 3rd degree felony charge of injury to a child. Court orders her to pay a $500 fine, orders her to take a parenting class as a condition of probation. Court also orders her to pay court costs of $290 and reimbursement fees of $35. Ms. Flores, you're hereby remanded to the custody of the probation department so they can carry out the terms and conditions of the sentence. If you don't have any questions, then I'm going to have you come forward with Deputy Martinez, and he's going to take your fingerprint. After that, you'll meet with the probation officers. Do you have anyone here that can help translate the conditions of community supervision to you?
Judge, could we do that tomorrow if I send one of my assistants up, Spanish speaking assistants? I didn't have anybody today.
Maybe you and Ms. Flores can come over here and meet with Ms. Burns.
Sure, yeah. I know we've done that in the past.
Okay. All right, if you don't have any questions, Ms. Flores, then come forward to see Deputy Martinez.
Sí, disculpe, mañana tengo que regresar aquí.
If that's what your attorney is suggesting.
Está bien.
We can talk about it over here.
All right, so come over here and see the probation officers. Get your fingerprint next.
Con permiso.
Holly, thank you so much for your help today. Do appreciate you. Yes, ma'am. We'll see you soon. Ms. Ross, you'll come forward. This is cause number CR 25-39, State of Texas versus Brandy Nicole Ross. We're set for arraignment today, Ms. Ross, having been charged with indictment with a first-degree felony offense of manufacture, delivery of controlled substance greater than 400 grams. Court finds that Ms. Ross, having requested court-appointed counsel,
Yes, sir.
finds her to be indigent. The court has appointed the Honorable Jonathan Manning as counsel. Mr. Manning, have you had an opportunity to receive the indictment in this case?
Yes, Judge, I have received the indictment in this case. We've gone over that. Her name is spelled correctly. She understands the charge against her as well as the range of punishment. Pleads not guilty and requests to be set on the pretrial docket.
You want to push this into July to give you more time?
Yes, Judge, that would be nice. Thank
Do
you.
you know your availability in July? Are you out any first 2 weeks? I've got July 10th. I've got July 3rd. 3rd is an evidentiary day, but we need to put it on there.
July 10th will work, Judge.
All right, court sets Ms. Ross then for pretrial July 10th at 9 a.m. And once Ms. Ross signs and gets her notice of setting, she's free to.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, Judge, I did receive a email from Mr. Calhoun while we were waiting. And I can provide that to the court coordinator or the court regarding the driver who was bringing Mr. Calhoun and the status of his vehicle.
Is there any objection to Mr. Calhoun appearing via Zoom?
No objection, Your Honor.
You want to do that at 1:30?
Yes, Judge.
Tell Mr. Calhoun to appear via Zoom at 1:30.
Will do. Thanks, Judge.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the date on Miss Ross.
Ms. Ross is, July 10th.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Holland. All right, this is Sanctions Court hearing, cause number CR 20-291. Kyle James Holland. Right, Mr. Holland. Let's see, at the last sanctions court, I sanctioned you to pay $60 to, or I ordered you to pay $60 to probation. You did that. Ordered you to pay $100 to court collections. You did that, and you worked 20 hours community service.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Burns tells me that you've been working first Monday. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that's good. It looks like in order for you to expire on time, which you've got a little over a year left, you got May of 2026. You have to pay $60 to your probation. That's your regular fee. And you've got to pay $170 to court collections each month to expire on time. That means to have everything caught up. Okay. So I'm going to order you back on All right, Kyle, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring you back on July 10th. Okay, so I'm not gonna bring you back next month. So we need to go ahead and collect for 2 months.
Okay.
Okay, so on July 10th, I will have expected you to pay your probation fees for May and June. Okay, that's $60 a month. Okay. And I expect you to pay $150 towards your court collections for May and June. So that's $300, May and June, okay? And then you've got to do your 20 hours community service, May and June. All right, so 40 hours total on your community service, 300 to court collections for those 2 months, 120 to probation for those 2 months. Does that make sense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Now, this is really what I want you to focus in on, okay? So Ms. Burns has told me that she's tested you today, that you've admitted that you're still smoking marijuana, right?
It was a CBD pen that.
Okay, so that's a violation. Okay, so when I come back, we come back and we talk about this on July 10th. I'm gonna test you again, and I expect to see a serious drop off in the levels that you still have in your body.
Yes, Your Honor.
If I don't, you're probably gonna end up going to prison for a CBD pen because it's illegal.
I understand.
Do you really understand?
Yes.
I mean, we can pay money, we can do our community service, but if you don't stop the CBD, it's going to send you to prison. It's not worth it. You've already had therapy. You've already gone through treatment, intensive treatment, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's a choice. It's a choice. I mean, we've done everything we can to equip you with the tools to decide whether you're going to be free or go to prison.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't want to go to prison for CBD, do you? Is it that important to you?
No, it is not.
Is there not something else that you can get addicted to, like running, reading the Bible,
I will try anything
spending
at
time
this
with
point.
family, friends, music? There's all kinds of things in this world that can give you gratification, okay? That's not going to send you to the pen. Think about that. I'm going to be thinking about that. And if you put us in a situation to where all we can do is file a motion to revoke and let the state do what they want to do, then that's the position you're going to find yourself in. And I'd hate to see that for you. I'd feel very disappointed because I think you have the ability.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So man up, take responsibility for it, or don't. Up to you. Okay. All right. So sign this notice and we'll see you back on July 10th.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day. Jacob, come on up. This is Sanctions Court hearing. Cause number CR 23-226, Jacob Stanford. All right, Mr. Stanford, let's see, at last Sanctions Court, I sanctioned you for a positive THC test. Back in February, you were ordered to serve 3 days in jail. It appears that you did that.
Yes, sir. I did my 3 days in jail. I paid my $120 in probation fees. Today, I don't have my physical card, my debit card with me to pay the court fees. I have it with me though, the money. If I can just go to the ATM and get it, I can come back up here and pay it. And for my 20 hours community service, I don't have a vehicle. I'm using my mom's vehicle. I've already talked to the bailiff. I've locked her keys in there today on accident. And my vehicle has no insurance on it. So if I drive that and it gets towed, I have no way back and forth to work. I have no way back and forth to come pick up my daughter. I can't risk losing my job and not being able to pay anything either.
You said you don't have insurance on your vehicle?
No, sir, I do
Then you
not.
don't need to be driving it at all.
That's my mom's vehicle that I'm driving today, and it has insurance on it.
Yeah, I don't want you to drive your vehicle
Yes, sir.
because that'd be illegal.
Exactly. But I have complied with everything else and I have a receipt stating that I have paid and registered for that substance abuse on my phone.
When did you do that?
A couple weeks ago.
You've registered for
Yes,
it?
sir, I did.
Did you turn that in to your probation officer?
No, sir, they said that, the people would send them an email telling them that I did it.
But you
I have a email saying I did it, so I don't know if they
you
told them.
you have that today. You could show them.
Yes, sir.
What's your plan for doing your probation hours?
My community service.
Mhm.
I'm planning on asking my mother if I can borrow the car a little bit longer. That way, and I don't know if I can still do it here in Van Zandt County since I am living in Hunt County. I don't know if I can come back to Van Zandt County and do some because I know Trade Days does a decent amount.
Yeah,
To your,
you can do that.
I can? Okay. I just didn't know.
What is your work schedule like?
I work 3 days out of the week. I am a landscaper. And it's from like 8 in the morning till at least 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
What days?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Wednesday, Friday. So you could come up here to First Monday and knock out 20 hours a month on 2
Yes, sir.
days.
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, I'm gonna reset you. I'll reset you for June 12th. Okay, that's less than 30 days. What I'm gonna order you to do is pay 120 to probation.
Right.
You gotta pay your 100 to court collections, and I'll order you to pay your other 100 today.
Yes,
So
sir.
you can go to the ATM and I'm gonna order you to go get that done and get that done today.
Yes, sir.
20 hours, community service. All right, so Jacob, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order for each one of these, I'm gonna put 1 day in jail,
Yes, sir.
okay? So you know what that means?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we call it a jail buyback, all right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna order you to do 3 days in jail.
Okay.
But if you pay the 120 to probation, it takes away a day. If you do 100 to your court collections, it takes away a day. If you do your 20 hours community service, it takes away the 3rd day.
Okay.
Any one of those that you don't do is a day in jail.
Yes, sir.
And when you get out of jail, you still owe it.
Yes, sir.
So it doesn't mean you sit it out. It
Yes,
just means that you kick the can further down the road. You've lost 3 days of your liberty and you still got to do it when you get out.
correct.
So this is a carrot. This is an incentive. And so when you say, man, I really don't want to go do that 20 hours, you have to be thinking about, okay,
3 days.
now I
in jail.
gotta go to jail and still gotta do the 20 hours.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to show your registration for the substance abuse evaluation to the probation officers today, okay? So we're gonna give you a notice of setting, it says that you're gonna be back on June 12th. We're gonna have those 3 things done. For every one of those that you don't do will be a day in jail. And you're gonna come over here, see the probation officers, show them your substance abuse, and then leave, go get your
My
money.
$100 and
come
come
up
right back.
here. And then get that done and I'll have the probation officers check that. Do you want him to go do that first before he comes back? So get your notice setting, go get your money, come pay. And then after that, get your receipt, go to the probation department. Show them your receipt for your substance abuse registration.
Okay.
And your receipt for your court collections.
Yes, sir.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for each one, if it's not done in one day.
Jacob, so after you do all, just come back here. The probation officers will stay here.
Okay.
So you don't have to go over there. Get your money, pay, come back, show them the receipt for your money, the receipt for your substance.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Deputy Martinez, if you'll go call the name Marquis Thompson. I think. Yeah, Marquis Thompson. Thank you, Deputy Martinez. This is cause number CR 25-87, State of Texas versus Marquis Antoine Thompson. A defendant was set for arraignment today, has failed to appear. His names were called loudly and distinctly 3 times in the courthouse with no response. Court hereby issues judgment nisi and alias capias. Mr. Hawkins, you and Mr. Godwin ready?
We are, we've got paperwork.
Yeah, I'm ready. I've got it. Yeah, come on up. And he can have a seat right here.
Thank you, Judge.
We are on record in cause number CR 23-140, CR 23-141, State of Texas versus James Wesley Godwin. Mr. Godwin, sir, if you'll just raise your right hand. Sir, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You lower your hand. Mr. Godwin, are you a United States citizen who reads, writes, and speaks English?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental condition?
No, sir.
In this case, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Matt Hawkins. Are you pleased with Mr. Hawkins and the work he's done as your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about the plea agreement or anything else today?
No, sir.
Mr. Hawkins, do you believe Mr. Godwin to be competent? And if so, do you believe that he understands everything that he has agreed to in the agreement and that he's entering into this intentionally, knowingly, and voluntarily? All right, Mr. Godwin, in cause number CR 23-141, you are charged by indictment with a 2nd-degree felony offense of possession of a controlled substance of felony group 1 greater than 4 grams, less than 200 grams. A 2nd-degree felony has a range of punishment of not less than 2 years in prison up to a maximum 20 years in prison, and also a possible fine not to exceed $10,000. I see that the plea agreement in your case is upon your plea of guilty to that crime, the state's recommending that the court consider the evidence, convict you of that offense, assess your punishment at 5 years confinement in prison, but they're recommending that the court suspend that sentence and place you on 5 years of community supervision. In addition, a recommendation of a $2,500 fine, restitution of $180, and the state is asking the court to dismiss upon taking it into consideration your indicted cause of possession of firearm, unlawful possession of firearm by, what does it say, unlawful possession of firearm, family house court order?
Your Honor, somebody who's been found guilty of a family violence charge.
Okay. State's asking the court to dismiss that charge, asking to forfeit the weapon as part of the agreement from that charge, and the state's also agreeing to dismiss and reject 2 unfiled charges, theft of firearm and also another possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 2. In addition to those things, Mr. Godwin, you would have court cost of $290 and reimbursement fees of $35. Is that the agreement that you're asking the court to approve?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Godwin has, let me ask you, have you, you've gone over all of this with your attorney and you understand that you will be a convicted felon for this charge after today, should the court approve that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Godwin, how do you plead to the 2nd-degree felony offense of possession of a controlled substance of penalty group 1 greater than 4 grams, less than 200 grams?
Guilty.
And Mr. Godwin, has anyone threatened, forced, or pressured you to plead guilty in court today?
No, sir.
All right, the court will accept the defendant's plea of guilt. Mr. Hawkins, do you believe that Mr. Godwin, I think you said earlier, you believe that he's entering into this intentionally, knowingly, and voluntarily, correct?
That's correct.
And do you have any objection to the court admitting the stipulation of evidence to support the plea? All right, the stipulation of evidence is admitted. The court takes judicial notice of the defendant's judicial confession. Anything further from the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything further from the defense?
Judge, not fully complete, so actually it's based on disability and concern. On the probation side of things, the money side of things for him, is not a court, it's just severity. I was like, just hopefully that probation work with.
Yeah, the probation department will, and always does work with anyone who has any kind of financial restraint or physical restraint in complying with conditions regarding payment of money and also discharging community service. So you're still going to have community service, but they'll find tasks that you can do where you can be seated or paperwork or organization, things like that. The money will not be discharged, but as long as you're making a good faith effort and attempting to be employed, then they're not going to revoke you for that. Okay. All right, the court is going to consider the evidence. All right, the court, having considered the evidence, finds enough evidence to convict the defendant of the offense. The court will follow the plea agreement today. Court convicts James Wesley Godwin of possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 1 greater than 4 grams, less than 200 grams, a 2nd-degree felony. Court assesses punishment at 5 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. The court today suspends that sentence, places Mr. Godwin on 5 years community supervision, orders him to pay a $2,500 fine, restitution of $180, court cost of $290, and reimbursement fees of $35. The court dismisses under section 1245, cause number CR 23-140, unlawful possession of firearm. Court will order the forfeiture of the weapon in cause number CR 23-140. The court also dismisses unfiled charges of theft of firearm DA 2023-53 and possession of a controlled substance DA 2023-54. The weapon that is being forfeited, that was seized, is a Thesis Zig M1911, and that is outlined in the special findings in the judgment. Mr. Hawkins, you've counseled your client that this is a plea bargain and he has no right to appeal, correct? The court's trial court certification, the court cannot complete it because it doesn't have the option and it's not already marked. So I want to make sure we get that on the record. The court will have to print this out and sign it, a hard copy, and amend it. Okay. Mr. Godwin. You are hereby remanded to the custody of the probation department so they can carry out the terms and conditions of the sentence. I'm gonna have you come forward with Deputy Martinez. He's gonna take your fingerprint, or he'll come to you, take your fingerprint, and then you'll meet with probation officers. Mr. Kalen Cheatham has been ordered to appear at 1:30 for sanctions court. Yeah, he'll have to be out here waiting. That's all. I don't mind bringing him in. Then Mr. Manning's client will, Mr. Calhoun will be appearing via Zoom at 1:30. Court has had the name Marquis Thompson called. Thompson did not show. Court has forfeited his bond, issued. Court's going to stand in recess until 1:30.